And now go live. So I think we are live now. Still waiting for the update. Hello, everyone who is joining us on LinkedIn Live. We are not a lot of people today in Zoom, but I guess we are more maybe on LinkedIn Live. One of my guests is already here. Other guests will join throughout the show. And yes, I'm very happy that you're here. In the name of TEC-ONE, I welcome you. I'm Werner Korb. I hope we are live. I have to check.
I can check. Let me see.
Yeah, we are live. Good.
Great.
So maybe more people will join. We are right at the point, so I think
Yeah,
we
let's
can
give
wait
them 5 minutes.
1 or 2 more minutes. So for everyone who is here already, you can also join on Zoom. The link is in the comments. So if you join on Zoom, you can also participate in the Q&A. I will also have an eye on the comments, but it's not always so easy to see the comments on LinkedIn. So it is easier if you want to discuss with us to join us also on Zoom. You can always join on Zoom. The link is in the comments, and then you can still join. So we are live. I see that we are live.
Yes.
And we have also 1 or 2 participants. You can also share your thoughts on LinkedIn, of course. You can also watch it later. Okay. Yeah, but I think I will start with the presentation. And in any case, if you join later, you can listen to it and see my presentation. We have some more guests also in the session here on Zoom. Welcome.
Well, I
And in
I
the
have no idea
meantime,
how many people are here. Hi, Victoria.
hello. Welcome. I will share my screen.
Hi, how's everyone doing?
I'm
Good.
doing well.
How are
Nice to have
you?
you here.
And nice to
Thank
meet
you.
you and nice to be here.
Where are you joining from?
I am from Venezuela. Another
Ah,
Venezuelan.
good.
Yeah.
Good. We have more people from Venezuela today. That's good. And
Yeah.
Kaz is also joining. I try to share my screen in the meantime.
Oh, don't worry, we're live. Hi, Cass.
Hello, Kaz. Welcome. So now I share my screen. Now, so this is what I want to have. Okay, share. I have too many screens if I'm going live on LinkedIn.
You're not sharing just a screen. You're sharing the whole thing. Okay, now.
Just sharing. Now you see only the screen, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. This is what I want. Okay. Yeah. Welcome again. Welcome everyone. I'm happy that you're here. Also on LinkedIn. If you still want to join the Q&A later, so typically I give a presentation of 10 or 15 or 20 minutes, depends. Then I will discuss with my special guests. So I have special guests today. Karla is already here. I see also Mike, Maria, I guess she will still join. And all of them are part of the TEC-ONE community. I built it 1 year ago for solopreneurs. And yeah, we will have a good time today. I will show my insights on live events, what I learned in the last 12 to 16 months to have live events on Zoom, on LinkedIn, on other channels, on YouTube, and we'll give you my insights. Then I will speak with my special guests. We'll ask them about their insights and ask some questions. And then I'm happy if you ask your questions. And if you want to join the Q&A, it's much easier if you join here on Zoom. The link is in the comment section of the event, also on LinkedIn, so you still can join anytime, and then you can participate later also in the Q&A part. Yeah, so TEC-ONE is a community of about 50 participants. We are a community of solopreneurs. So we are startup founders, but startup founders who are responsible for ourselves, right? So we are independent, but not alone. We have mainly a 12-week challenge program. I will tell a little bit about this later, and also different coaching programs. I'm the founder of TEC-ONE. I'm Werner Korb. I have a background in research centers and universities, mainly in Germany and Austria. I'm a serial entrepreneur, and now I'm helping mainly one-person startups to make their business online, start a business online. Before we start with live events, always if you want to build your live events, it's very important, and this is what I always tell everyone who comes to TEC-ONE or everyone which I'm speaking to, before you start with everything, you always should find your unique selling proposition. So I would really suggest that you start with any event only if you have a business plan and if you have your product, your service, whatever you want to sell ready, because it's very important that you have a strategy for your live events, right? So just to make an event for the sake of having an event and having fun is good, yes, but it's not very targeted and goal oriented. So I always would start with a unique selling proposition in TEC-ONE. We do it like that. We start with defining a value proposition canvas. A value proposition canvas has many advantages. Two of them is that you are looking on the pains. I think the most of startup founders, the most people who start a business, they know they want to solve some problems for their clients, right? But what we do is we are not only looking on the problems, we are also looking on the excitements of our clients, of our target audience. And we always try to find problems that we can solve with our service, and at the same time, gains and excitements where we can give added value. So these are the advantages of the value proposition canvas. If you come to my programs, you start also to work on the value proposition. And this is important to also prepare your live events. So if you want to make a live event soon on LinkedIn or YouTube or whatever, I would really suggest that you fill in a value proposition canvas. You can also find it online. You can also find a lot of this material in my newsletters. And it's, of course, more fun if you do it in a group together. The second thing what we do is, so this is step one, we work on the unique selling proposition. The second step, we work on a cognitive task analysis. This goes back to my research time. I told you I'm working since about 25 years in building startups. For many years, mainly in MedTech. Today, I have also startups and solopreneurs from other fields, still a lot from medicine and biotech, cars, for example, or also telehealth today and others. And I developed this technology or this methodology of cognitive task analysis in this time. And the idea is really to find out what users, clients, target audience really needs. Not what they want, but what they need. Because in the most polls or in the most analytics we do in the market, what we know typically in the methodologies is that we find out what people want. But often people don't know what they really want. And so we have to ask the right questions, and we have to look behind the scenes of our audience. And we really want to find out what they really need. And this is the idea of the cognitive task analysis. So unique selling proposition and cognitive task analysis are two columns of the same. And as soon as we have this, as soon as we know the target audience, as soon as we know the deepest desires, we start with the live events. So yeah, this is the model we use for the cognitive task analysis. But now today is the event about live events. And when I start with live events, I start on LinkedIn. LinkedIn for me is at the moment my business hub. There are some disadvantages. I confess that, and we will talk about that. So you should not focus 100% on LinkedIn, but I focus maybe 80%, 70 to 80% on LinkedIn is my business hub. And from there, everything else starts. Why? Because LinkedIn is for me like a 24/7 scientific conference. I like it to meet people there. I like it to discuss ideas there. I like it to meet new people there. And it's really like before when I was in science. I like to go to the workshops and to the events. And today I still can do that online on LinkedIn anytime when I want, right? And I can meet with the people there. So for me, LinkedIn is the most important part, and I will come back to this. But of course, start with your strategy based on your selling proposition and on your target audience, and then start planning your live events. I use mainly those tools since 1 year. I use Zoom. Of course, you can also use other tools. You can use Google Meets. You can use other tools. I use Zoom because I can record there. I can also see the registrations there. It's a very evolved tool and emerged tool, so it works. That's mainly for me the most important. And of course, I pay a small amount of money every month, but it pays off because here I have my hub. I have all the events. I record the events. I can use it later also for YouTube. Then I use LinkedIn. I told you 80–90% of my business goes via LinkedIn. So I do the LinkedIn Live. Today I'm also live on LinkedIn again. You can see later. So the session from 1 month ago. So it's once a month. I do a LinkedIn Live video. Once a month, I do a LinkedIn Live audio. And you can still watch my sessions from last month, right? And so this is very, very convenient. And people write me, oh, I cannot attend today, but I will watch your recordings. And then people come back in 3 or 4 weeks' time, write me a DM and told me, I have watched your LinkedIn Live from June, and I want to join your next coaching program, whatever, right? And this pays off also for you. So I really would suggest that you start with that. Everything is there, and you can use it. Why do you use WhatsApp? Because it's easier to connect with the people, right? So before it was mainly email. We can also discuss about email and whether you should use email still or not, also for promoting your live events. But for really quick connection, WhatsApp is better. I get the WhatsApp connection as soon as people meet with me. And then we make a Calendly session, or we make an appointment on Calendly, make a session on Zoom. And then I have the WhatsApp connection, and then I connect with people on WhatsApp and still on LinkedIn, because it's very important that the algorithm sees that I connect with the people on LinkedIn. And then I have my YouTube channel. So these are my 4 tools, right? And in this environment of work, and it's easy. I set it up. Maybe it took me 3 to 6 months until everything was set up, right? And now it's running, and it's a system behind it. And if you want to know more, please ask me your questions. But just to give a short overview and a short background, I'm going to start Uvisity. Mike can tell us a little bit more about Uvisity later. He's one of my special guests today. I'm going to start Uvisity because it has a background in research and university. And since this is my main area where I'm working in the field of research, I'm going to use it also. It's a very focused, I would say, little LinkedIn for universities and research environments, right? And maybe we talk about it later, since Mike is here today. He has experience in that, and we can discuss about this in a couple of minutes. Okay, some more ideas and tricks what I use, or some hacks maybe if you want. If I do events like this, you have seen it already. I use registrations, right? So because then I have your connections, I can contact you later. If you have questions, you can contact me. If I have questions, I can contact you. I have your email addresses. This is the registrations of a couple of hours ago or days ago. In the meantime, we have more registrations, but I can organize this and have already, participants list. All right. Then I use LinkedIn Live. So this is the session from June. People can still watch it. You can watch it. I don't know for how long LinkedIn keeps it there. I guess forever. I didn't check that out yet, but at least for the next couple of weeks and months, you have it there, and I still come in contact with people who have seen my recorded sessions, right? And then I have YouTube. Also here, the session from I think 2 months ago is there on YouTube, and so I have not much more work. I have the same session also on YouTube, and I have a different reach, right? So I have subscribers there. I'm growing there still, and I have a different network on YouTube, and I have also my podcast there, and it helps me a lot. Of course, and now comes the point. I didn't start with all at once, right? I really set it up step by step, and I think this is the most important. That is set it up step by step. What I also do is, and this works amazingly good, is behind the scenes, particularly after the audio events. I do behind the scenes photos or behind the scenes posts, and these are the most successful posts often, right? So I don't know why, because I have more content related posts on LinkedIn, you know that. But the behind the scenes posts, they're really promoted by LinkedIn either or by my network. I don't know, but this works. So I have also a post after the session. And so I have more reach and more engagement even after the session. So this is what I do. And how I started with LinkedIn audio. And I think this is really the easiest. So if you consider also to start your live events, I don't know in which step you are at the moment. If you think about having also live events, getting more engagement, getting and higher reach, then I really would suggest starting with the LinkedIn audio. We also can talk about having it together. I also have guests on my LinkedIn audios. We can start working it out together, and then step by step you go into the position of a host, do it yourself, and try it out. Maybe we can also talk about this with my guests. I know that Mike had his audio event last weekend. And so, from my point of view, for beginners, this is really the first step, and do it together. Now, I speak alone, right? I have my screen, I speak to you, and I'm not interacting. But in LinkedIn audio, it's much more interaction, right? And it's much easier if you talk and response, because if you're speaking alone for a couple of minutes and other people are only listening, you need to get used to it, right? And this is really a learning step by step. And this is also my summary. So if you want to make live events, do it step by step. Take people that have experience, that you trust, that you know very well, and start with them. And I would suggest, as I told you, what I told you as the last point, I would really start with the audio events, and then step by step grow. Start with live events, start with Zoom events, invite people, invite first people you know, and then step by step also invite people you don't know yet, and grow your network and grow your audience. If you want to do it in a group, if you want to do it in TEC-ONE, of course, you can also join the 12-week challenge. We will have new cohorts. We are now in cohort number 4. We will have new cohorts starting in September. We have also one-on-one programs. And the idea is really that we do it together in a group, that we have weekly community meetings. You have one-on-one coachings. I have always homeworks and weekly challenges. And the goal is that you build your digital business idea, finding high ticket packages also, and that you learn about the freedom to build a business according to your needs. So really your unique selling proposition, that you are not a copywriter or a graphic designer or a software engineer or whatever, like 100,000 others, but that you are really your unique business. You have the only business in especially that field, what is your unique idea, your unique strength, your unique service. And we will have examples today. Yeah, so I will start the next group program in September. If you want to know more, reach out to me, send me a DM. I have also one-on-one programs. You can start tomorrow or next week. If you want, also reach out to me. And I have also another program, which includes also tech and SEO and graphic design and web design. And I will tell you a little bit about this also in a minute, because Maria is here and she can explain a little bit more also about the Platinum program. So I have Silver, Gold, and Platinum. If you want to know more about the 12-week challenge, please reach out to me and we will talk about it soon. It has one challenge every week, it has individual coachings, and it has also group meetings. And we have a community of 50 plus growing participants, and we meet every week to share experiences and share with each other how to grow online with our online businesses. Yeah, maybe I start now to ask my guests. So maybe I start with Maria, although you joined last, but I just mentioned it. So we have the Silver, Gold, and Platinum program. So Maria, you are working with me on the Platinum program. So for those who don't know it, what is the special offer in the Platinum program, and what will you provide in this joint program?
Awesome. So, of course, one of the things is that it's a more personalized program because it's more like a one-on-one. But in this case, like two with one. But yeah. And the other thing is that this, like, when you are a solopreneur, you are building your business and you're building your systems and so on. And the goal of this is that you build it with a group or you build it with a coach. But this way, we also build with you. So one thing is that you build with our support, of course, and another thing is that all of us build it together. So in this term goes for web design or graphic design for social media and so on. For example, when it comes to the web design, there are a lot of technical issues that we need to take care of to make a good website. I mean, we can make a simple website and of course it can work and you can still use it for lead generation and so on. But if you want like more optimization, you need to take care of these key points. So for example, SEO, technical SEO, maybe the messaging, the copywriting of the website per se, and the business strategy behind it. So in this, Werner helps a lot when it comes because he has a background in startups and business strategy and so on. And in my side, I help you more with branding, personal branding, and the strategy, but on the identity of the brand of the business itself. So that's how we can help you.
Yeah, we started the program maybe 1 or 2 months, 2 months ago, and yeah, it works very well. So it's not only coaching. So the Silver and Gold program is mainly coaching and building your business, and you do it alone in a group or on a one-on-one program. But now in this Platinum program, we have two things. We have the coaching, but you also get the website and the graphic design and everything. Particularly if you're like me, you're not very good with graphic design, then you have somebody who helps you with that. And this is always good if you have all your Canva templates and everything ready to start your business, right? And in 12 weeks, you can start with that, and you have both. You have a business model and a business idea, you have your network, and at the same time, you have also your graphics and web package and everything, SEO, marketing, everything is ready in 12 weeks, yeah. Okay, but going one step back, we now started already with the premium and with the platinum. Now going one step back to the topic of this event, live events. So Karla and Mike, since you're also today as my guest, so how did it start with you? You're both doing events, I know that. So yeah, how did you start? What was your first step? Maybe
Can I
Karla,
go
you can
first?
start.
Yeah. I have some considerations here because I haven't been able to start my first event because of the region. LinkedIn audio events don't work well here in my country. So
Yeah.
I'm looking for options in that regard. Another thing you mentioned is that you use WhatsApp. That depends on the region. Here in Latin America and some parts of Europe, WhatsApp is the thing to go. But we also have WeChat, which I got recently for Asia. We have Skype, which some European countries favor. And Cass mentioned something last time, Discord, which is really focused on the technical community. And it really gets you to good leads because since communities are so focused there, you can actually talk to like-minded people about business. Then you mentioned something really important, going through multiple channels. Yes, LinkedIn is not everything. Well,
No.
it's the main part of my lead generation. I'm starting to explore other channels, and what you say regarding email is going to depend on the audience really, and the age bracket, because some people would rather get a text message than get an email, and some other will rather get an email than have you on their phone.
Yeah.
Also, regarding audio events and live events in general, you need to prepare the idea. You need to prepare the idea so you don't come like starting to talk about a lot of things that don't have to do with the main idea, or make a comment that doesn't go with the idea you're given, or you get asked a question you don't know how to answer to, sorry. And regarding your behind the scenes post, they get so much traction because it's interesting. Not many people are doing this. So this is interesting for your audience. It's your human coach. Oh, and I forgot to introduce myself. How I'm Karla. I create a translator message, and I help solopreneurs and transitioning companies, mainly in MedTech and Biotech, to communicate clearly. Thank you.
Yes, please share also your LinkedIn contact so we can really network also with those people we might not know yet. Also in the Zoom chat, and of course you can also share your connections on LinkedIn. And I think you mentioned one very important point. Of course, you have to find your channels according to your target audience. But what I mean mainly, and this is what I have seen, and I think many solopreneurs do that wrong in the beginning. I think you need one main hub, and then you have maybe two, three, maybe two, at most three side channels, right?
Yeah,
But
the
I
key
think if you
value.
have all the channels at the same level,
Oh
I
yeah,
think
absolutely.
it doesn't work. I think you have to make one hub. This is your main, maybe LinkedIn, maybe it's Facebook, maybe it's Instagram, whatever, right? I mean, I prefer LinkedIn for many reasons. I can
Oh
talk
no, me
about
too.
LinkedIn a long time, right? But then, of course, not focus 100% on LinkedIn, because I mean, it can happen anytime, whatever, that your LinkedIn is blocked, or you're in a region where it doesn't work, or whatever. It can always happen something, and then you need to have one or two backups, right?
Also,
And this is what I see. But to focus on one, this again the focus. I think if solopreneurs don't focus, if they don't focus on a business, on a service, if they don't focus on a target audience, and even if they don't focus on one main hub, I think they will lose, because it's too much. We are solopreneurs. We are not a company of 20 or of 100 or of 1,000, right? We are solopreneurs, so we need to focus. And this is the reason why I focus on LinkedIn, and I have 2, 3 other side channels, and I step by step I build them up, right? So, and this is, but you're right. For some, WhatsApp might work. For others, WhatsApp don't work because they are working in a different region. But this was my main message: one main hub and 2, 3 other side channels.
oh yeah, too many channels is too hard to handle. Maria knows it.
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
it too. I know it too. That's the reason why I have a YouTube channel. I don't post there.
Yeah, no, I think you cannot. It's impossible as a solopreneur to keep an eye on all channels. You have to know which
Yeah,
is your
that's why
main
you need
channel,
social media
and then
managers.
yeah, I mean, yeah, of course you can do that. But I think later you should get your first experience yourself, and then step by step you start with managers. I'm also thinking about starting with VAs. I'm already discussing with some of them, just very small, very simple, with a very tight budget, but yeah, step by step, you go in that direction, of course, everyone. But I think you need to find out yourself first, and then as soon as you know how it works, how the processes work, then you start growing and working together with others, right? But Mike, how did you start, or what was your first approach for Mic'd Out? And please introduce also Mic'd Out. This is also interesting for our audience. We cannot hear you yet.
So I started posting not on Mic'd Out, but I've had these ideas probably since 2015. And because I'm one person and it's a lot, I couldn't really make any progress. So all I could do was kind of refine the big picture, work on it, put this action step, things in place. So when the time was here, it would make it easier for me to execute all of that, right? And so when we talk about focus, most people think I'm very unfocused. Like, dude, just pick something and go with it. But I don't work that way, right? I don't work that way. And there's a reason, well, for me, right? There's a reason why, several reasons why. But so I started posting on Facebook because I know there's independent convenience store owners there, right? So that's where I started, right? Getting some, just getting in the discipline, the habit of posting something every day, right? Polishing, trying to find out what works, what doesn't work. And when I think about all the different platforms that are out there, and I hear everybody talk about that, I ask myself, that doesn't apply to the funnel, right? When you create a funnel, a marketing funnel, you start wide, and then the funnel comes down, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so LinkedIn is not my audience. It's really not for convenience stores, because I know that it's very close-lipped, and yes, I'm getting in front of some of the decision makers and all that. That's like the long-term play. But what I have found out by doing that is, if I want to rank, if I want to show up in searches, LinkedIn is the way to go. Right? I have found that by posting every single day, I think I've showed you, Werner. I start showing up like in Perplexity AI as one,
Yes.
or sometimes two, right? And so that helps my long-term strategy of becoming the most impactful person in the convenience store industry, even though I'm not even there anymore, right? That was my vision. That was my whole thing, right? So I do Facebook so independent convenience store owners know who I am. But who I haven't reached yet are the actual people inside the stores, employees. That's going to get through Instagram. I don't know, Facebook, maybe older managers. It just depends. But so that's kind of the approach I've taken. And now there are resources that will allow you, just like with LinkedIn. When I post on LinkedIn, do you want to share on Facebook? Do you want to share on X? Oh, sure, boom. And just like that, it's there, right? Didn't cost me anything. Now, my posts aren't formatted to X, but I am, and I'm not building fast, but I'm getting some followers, right? I'm getting some people. My newsletter on LinkedIn, some of that may come from there because they're seeing, when they click on that link, it takes them to my LinkedIn, right? So again, I'm not, I don't want to say I'm not in a hurry, because I am. That's why I put out so much stuff. But I kind of, I mean, in my mind, it's like, okay, this is the path, and then it'll be just like an avalanche. I think it'll start to snowball, and it kind of is, right? But it's like anything else. I think when you have the right tools and you understand those tools, you can do a lot more. And that's why I'm such a big proponent of technology, because the Egyptians built pyramids, so did the Mayas and the Incas, right? And they did it somehow. It wasn't carrying all those things one at a time, right? They figured out ways. So So that was my journey. I did LinkedIn Live the other day because we had our meeting and I didn't have a video. I was working on Kartra, right? Setting up infrastructure. I didn't have a video. So I said, okay, you know what? I'll make it up, right? And I'm just going to jump in on LinkedIn, right? I don't have a problem talking. So that's what I did. And I learned some valuable things right away. People want free. Like they have a lot of sad stories and all that. And so it was good. I didn't have a big audience, but that gave me a great chance to kind of tell my story. It also gave me a chance to hear other people's stories. And I think the thing that stands out to me the most is people don't understand, don't realize how you can implement technology. I was talking to a guy, he started like an orphanage and and he sent me messages like in 2020, right? So he came up and he wanted a sponsor, and I'm like, I mean, I didn't tell him like that's not what this is about, but I just started asking him, and I saw his LinkedIn stuff, and he was posting videos and all that, pretty neat stuff, right? So I told the guy, look, there are a lot of people that want to help, they just can't help monetarily, right? People can't send money. So a lot of people create, why don't you get people? I would be happy to create some content that you can share with those kids at the orphanage to teach them. Why don't you take that approach, right?
Yeah.
Get somebody to contribute a lesson, get somebody on a specialty, and then you build that library, right? From donations, from people's time. And now you're going to be able to attract more people because they're going to say, oh, this guy's, you know what I mean? He's building something, right? But people don't always understand that, right? And so getting to Mic'd Out. Mic'd Out was 2015. I was working on my MBA. I researched everything, and you hear all the statistics. And I thought to myself, wow, what can I do to help less businesses fail? Because 95% are going to fail, right? So there are so many contributors to that. But I thought, when people don't know you even exist, how are you going to, right? How are you going to do that? And so LinkedIn, Mic'd Out. Mic'd
Yeah.
out, mic'd out, mic'd out, right? That was the whole premise, concept. Give people a
Yeah.
voice, get it out there, right? And so that's where it just happened to be a play on my name. So I was telling Karla the other day, I came out with a great name for a podcast for that, specifically for that. Karla, just for that domain or whatever, it's like $3,000 or 2,500 just to buy the .com on that one. But I found
Yeah.
out through doing that research, you can actually lease it. I don't know if you guys knew that. On GoDaddy, you can, but I didn't know that. I haven't checked it. Well, anyway, so yeah, I started doing LinkedIn Lives. Why? Because I have the time right now. It's summer. I have a product, right? Which is I have 3 tiers. One is to learn how to create content, and people think they know how, right? People honestly think they know how. I don't know that everybody understands the full capabilities, right? Everything that's out there, right? So that's one, right? It's $297, and these are going to go up because once I get this ironed out, then I'm going to go here locally, and then that becomes small business and things of that nature, right? So the second one is more the same thing, but you also get the distribution channels, right? How to distribute all this stuff, right? If I was doing 6 podcasts every weekend, every Sunday, working, publishing content for 3 different platforms and 3 different niches every single day, if you wanted to, you could. And it's not that I have a lot to get out, all these ideas, but also now as things unravel and the tools become available, I have an extensive library of content that's going to take most people a long time, and I can fully utilize all the new stuff that's out there. And I don't say it as a brag. I'm just saying that you guys have no idea, right? And you talk about a head start, being a first, getting the first movers advantage, all those different things. So that's something also. And then of course the last one is $997, and these are pilot. So that's like, I don't want to say lifetime, but that's just continuous learning. Everything I learn, and I'm always learning, I'm sharing. I'm doing videos. I did a video just a little while ago on something I purchased yesterday, and I was looking at it and I tried it and I was like, oh man, this isn't. And then so I said, let me take a deeper look. I looked at it today and there was some neat things, but it's not worth the money that I paid for it. So, but I tried it and I got some ideas from it that I can implement. Anyway, long story short, I can definitively, I have no doubt in my mind, help people get where they want to go. And I have use cases. Somebody's retired, they can earn money. Somebody's looking for a job, they can learn how to leverage all that. Somebody's going to college. By the time they get out, they're not going to have a hard time finding a job because they're building their portfolio as they go along. I've got a little girl that's coming in next year in my class, right? Her brother was in my class 2 years ago. She's an influencer. She's got over 500,000. Guess who's picking her brain? Guess who she's sitting next to in my classroom, right? And so there's just so much out there, right? And anyway, I wish I could, give it away for free, but I've got to try to get away from the teaching and spend more time like you guys do so that I can just, gosh, get everything out there. And I'm confident I can. I know I'm one person, but it's like when you have the tools and the knowledge, right? You can. So anyway, that's my.
Yeah, thank you. So this was a lot of resources we have. We shared our ideas, how we do it. And now is the question, maybe also Maria or Karla, or maybe even Cass, you can also share how to get started. So I guess there are a lot of people out there that did not start. And I meet a lot of people who did not start. And yeah, so this is the question, how to start.
Can I give you a timeout real quick? I forgot one thing. Just as an example, right? I won't take too much time. Uvicity, right? It's a great resource.
Uvicity.
And I didn't get a chance to
I
talk
mentioned
to
it. Uvicity.
it's a great resource. Now, you guys get on there, right? You can charge, right? You're getting the sessions recorded. It's all in one place. You get a calendar included in that. So whatever you're paying for an annual Zoom, it's $120 on Uvicity. And whatever you're paying for Calendly, it's on there. You bring people on there, you start charging them. So not only do you have a new resource that's going to save you money, it's also going to allow you to earn money. Right? And those are the things that I would share with you. I'll share them here, right, when I can, but those are the different things, right? That's how I can help. But anyway, sorry.
Yeah, and again, it's target audience, right? So for me, it's my target audience. It's universities who are there, and so I will go there. But again, you have to find out who is your target audience, right? Okay, but how to start? So I mean, a lot of people come to me and ask me, can I really do it? Help me with my presentation, and then they do the first presentation maybe on Daily Health Today or whatever, right? Different channels. And what I have seen, this is my learning, if I help people to start with the first steps, for many, it is easier to do it in a closed environment first, so where they know the people and not public. And also, for many, it's easier not to show their face at the first hand. But I think there is the necessity to show your face at one time, because we discussed it a lot in the last weeks, because still people, or particularly today, people see a lot of scams and avatars and so on and so on. And if you don't show your face at a certain time, the people don't trust that it's really something behind it, right? So particularly in the solopreneur business, as a VA, whatever you do, you have to show your face at a certain time. And of course, you need to get used to it. And I mean, at the first time when I did a Zoom session, I was completely distracted and confused when I was seeing myself speaking. But today I'm used to it. I mean, I see myself speaking and I see my face and I'm used to it. But it's like when you hear your voice first on a in the audience, right? In a hall or somewhere, right? You get used to it speaking into a microphone, so you get used to speaking into Zoom, and so step by step, start maybe with an audio, then show your face, and do it in a closed environment, and step by step learn. But Karla, you have also maybe other suggestions and ideas or hacks how
Yeah,
to do it, how to start.
it takes time, and it takes effort. Actually, my first presentation of Translate Your Message was within the TEC-ONE community with people we selected just specifically for this, including Maria. And, it's been a whole journey from there to now. But the more you do it, the better you get. And you
Right.
need to try because and also you need to work like on the self-confidence part. And coaching really does wonders with that. Thank you.
Yes, I like it. You need to try, and I think you need also to find your personal comfort zone, right? So not everybody is the same. Some speak perfect in front of 5,000 people. Others speak good in a group of 5 or 10, and both is valuable. And I always say for a solopreneur, you need not to have 5,000 or 50,000 or 500,000 as an audience. It depends on your service. It depends on what you offer. Maybe if you have an audience of 50 or 100, it's already sufficient. Maybe you need only one client per year. I don't know. It depends on your service, right? So you need not to speak in front of 5,000 if you don't feel comfortable with it, right? But if you feel comfortable, I meet young guys from the gaming industry. They tell me, I like speaking. The more, the better. I love speaking, right? So okay, they should do it, right? But maybe they cannot speak in a small group. So you really have to find your own comfort zone, and you have to find your own approach and try it out. If you test it, you will
Absolutely.
find it out.
Absolutely.
And
For me, for example, audio events work best. I will be right back.
Yeah.
I have to say that the first time it's normal to be nervous because I
Yes.
remember that the first time that I did an audio event, it was with a community member, so that was good
Yes.
because I
That
had
is
a
good.
co-host.
Yeah.
I wasn't alone. But think of this, like I work as a university professor. I had conferences with 100 people, 200 people without problem, and this was an audio event with my face. My face wasn't showing. It was just 20 people in the audience, and I was nervous because it was my first time, and that happens. I mean, that's normal.
Yes.
It's but as you go forward and continue to doing it, and it's the same with video content creation. As you do it over and over again, you get used to it, and that's
Yeah.
it. And
Yeah.
one thing that I really like it about audio events on LinkedIn, for example, is that you can prepare even the script of the event. Because I remember that I did one of the events with the co-host that was from Italy, and he's not an English native speaker, and he was nervous with his English, but the audio event was on English. But we had a script, and we went through the script, and everything went great, and people in the audience really liked the event. It was not like, yeah, it was nice, and that's it. But actually, we get like feedback from people that they were really happy with the content and the topics that we approach in the event. So it's part also of just trying different things and get out of your comfort zone, and just think that, as Mike said, if you don't do it, then how people are going to know you? Because it's the same with posting. If you are not posting, then how people know that you even exist? Because if you are not there, then yeah, how? So it's a step approach. Success doesn't come like in 1 week, but you have to start with something, and this is one
Yeah.
of the ways that really works really good.
Yeah. Yeah, and at the same time, I think you should not make it overcomplicated, right? So, for example, my first videos on LinkedIn, it was so complicated. It was many years ago, and I did my first videos, and I didn't put it out because I wanted to make it perfect, and all the editing and the sound and whatever and whatever. And I don't know how many takes I did, and then I was editing it. It took hours. And then 1 year or 1.5 years ago, I started in the 100 community. Maria invited me, and then there was Dennis and all the other guys from the video editing workshop, and they told me, okay, use CapCut. And then I started with CapCut, and I just did one take. It was not perfect, but I took the take. It was really not perfect. It was maybe a little bit embarrassing for me, but in the end, it was not embarrassing, but people liked it because it was simple. It was one take. It was a little bit of captions and a little bit of music, and it was natural. It was authentic. I told the people, this is authentic. This is my first one, right? And the people knew it's my first one. So everything was fine and was much better than 8 years. So when I started on LinkedIn, yeah, it was 2016. It should be something like 6 or 7 years ago when everything was too complicated, right? And so one thing is, of course, start small, step by step, but at the same time, keep it simple, right? And if it's not perfect, I mean, do your best, do as best as you can, but don't make it overcomplicated. So simple, the best you can, and step by step. I think this is really what I learned.
Sometimes we are
yeah.
the ones that make it difficult. So
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I wanted to add to that one. Please don't be dragged by the fear of missing out into something because you're always making choices. You gain something and you miss out on something. So take your time and do it as best as you can, but don't obsess over it being
yeah,
perfect.
yeah. So the balance between doing as best as you can, but at the same time, don't do it overcomplicated. So yeah, so this balance between these two poles, and some people they're perfectionists, and some they're not. I mean, they're the opposite, and then of course it doesn't work. So, but both sides don't work, right?
I think also to add in, for me, it also helps. It also helped me in the beginning is that when you do these live events or even yeah, when you do these live events, whether it's audio or videos, but if you do it with somebody that you already know, that you've known for some time, then this gets you off the ground, then the other ones become sort of easier when you sort of see when you can see the other person that you already know well how they do it, and then it starts to become more natural.
Yeah,
I think if you were to just do these events out of the blue with complete strangers, I think that's when someone like me would make it really complicated. Um, yeah, and you take it. You just be yourself.
yeah.
That's
Yeah, do it with somebody who is one step further. Start with him or her, do it together, and then maybe change roles. So first, he might be the host, and I'm the co-host, and then change roles, and really step by step. Maybe start really with somebody who is one step further, 2 steps further, not 20 steps further. So if you now start with somebody who is already, I don't know, an influencer, I mean, that also can work if you find somebody, of course, but it's always good to do it in a partnership. Yeah, yeah, yeah. If there are questions, I'm also checking the comments of LinkedIn. I'm checking the comments or the chat of Zoom. So if there are questions from the audience, please send them. You can also send comments later. This session is recorded, so if you listen to it, maybe in 2 days or in 1 week or in 1 month, whenever, reach out to us, to all of us. You see the contacts in the descriptions. Then you can contact us. You also see Cas, who did comments on this session, so you can find out what he wants to say. So you can reach out to everyone here, and we can also
we
be
are friendly.
connected
Don't worry.
later after this session. Yeah.
You know what's really funny is right now I just see you, I see Werner, I see Kaz, Maria, Karla. Just like we talk, and I didn't even think, I was oblivious to the fact that there's somebody out there possibly on LinkedIn listening, watching. I didn't even You
Yeah,
know what I
we're
mean?
being about we're
Which
being
is
watched, but
yeah,
yeah,
which is
we're
true. But
ourselves.
yeah, but I'm just saying. So sometimes, yeah, having like what you were talking about, right? I just jumped in on mine, right, and it was kind of cool because there was nobody there, but it gave me the opportunity to have some really deep conversations, right? But in this scenario here, like I know everybody here, and I didn't even think about anybody that might have been outside, right? So it, they just credence to what you were saying earlier.
Yeah.
Trust the face thing. I was listening to an event last night. These guys have over 4 million followers. They had close to 900 people in the event. And they never really said anything. It was just, I'm excited about the future. AI is going to change things. They never really gave you anything. And they were like, but they had all these people there. And I'm like, he said, like, I don't want to reveal too much. I'm like, you haven't revealed anything. But somehow they have the whole almost 1,000 people there. But they were all there. I don't know. But they've been doing it for a while. So anyway, just again, right?
Probably they know the target audience.
Oh,
And I think that works. So if you do it for if you start to copy them, it would not work. So I mean, to be honest, sometimes I also tried it to copy other influencers and community builders, but then I stopped very quickly again because I see, for me, it doesn't work. They tell you it works. Okay, it works for them, but it doesn't work for me. I have to find my unique selling proposition and my unique path. Okay, Karla, please. Yeah.
yeah, sorry. Another thing
No,
before
no,
I forget.
no,
Be
please go
ready
ahead.
for
We have still time.
be ready for nobody to show up. Be ready to no one to engage.
Yes.
Be ready to people to react negatively to what you're saying. That's part of the process. If you don't face an adverse reaction or you don't face rejection, you won't know what is the way to go. So have two cases scenario in all the events you make, people showing up and people not showing up.
Yeah. Yeah, this is very important. Thank you also for mentioning this. I forgot it to show it in my slides. I have the numbers there. Typically in LinkedIn, if you have 100 registrations, 10 show up, right? So you have the thumb of rule is 10%. I mean, I had audio events, 15%, 18% showed up. So it happens. Sometimes less show up. So this is maybe, so if you make marketing for your LinkedIn events and you see there, I don't know, 20 registrations, you can estimate it's 2 people or 3 people who are there. Of course, you should invite people you absolutely know they will come. Your friends, your colleagues, people of the community. That's easier. If you have a backup or a bunch of people you know, 3 or 4 or 5 as guest speakers or whatever you can do. I mean, I do it as guest speakers. Others do it in a different way, co-host, whatever. You can have different formats for this, but invite people you know, and you know what you're talking about, which you talked before, and that makes it much easier. Like Maria said, she was a co-host on her first audio, right? And so, and she knew there is already one person there, so at least there are 2. Right, so and maybe I guess also others confirmed they would come to your first event, right? And this is how you do it, right? And yeah, that's very important. Yeah,
Just
okay.
one thing
So
on the side, a little bit
final
sideway.
thoughts, Kaz. Yeah, please. Final
Yeah.
thoughts. We are nearly out of time.
So my brother is in a band, heavy metal band. So he's doing shows in front of 500 people, 1,000 people every once in a while as a support. Plays the guitar, but when it comes to the point where he's got to speak, not sing, but he's got to say something to the audience, he cannot do it. He can't do it. He's jumping about with the guitar, but he can't do it. But someone experienced told him, and this person actually got it from a cartoon and said that the best way to lose your nerves or to let's say not be nervous is just imagine people in the audience on the beach in their bikinis, and this makes it much easier. Yeah. And actually, this worked.
Okay, good. So it worked for him. Good. Yeah. You can try it out. Yeah, try out what helps you. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I think that was good. It's always good to share different experiences because this is really my main message. You have to find your own way, your own path, your unique selling proposition, but also your unique path to life events. Try it out. If you don't try it out, you will never find out. We have seen many different approaches, many different ways how to do it. If you want to know more, reach out to one of us, reach out to me. If you want to know more about the 12-week challenge, also reach out to me. And I hope to see you all soon.
Hey, real quick,
Thank you.
Cos, I
Thank
don't
you for
know.
coming.
I don't know this firsthand, but I've heard a couple of shots of tequila. Well, you know, just take care of that too, right? Just firsthand. I don't know. I've never. So they've told me. I don't know.
I don't know what heavy metal bands drink, but maybe
I
yes.
had candy here. That's my thing.
That's your thing.
Bye.
Yes,
If you have
please.
questions, leave a comment. Nice to
Yeah,
see you
please.
all.
Yeah, good to see you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.